Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if the Lord showed his children his heart over the leaders and the future for the nations. Well, guess what? Amos 3:7 says that surely the sovereign Lord never does anything until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets. And over the past decade, many of you know that there have been so many of his servants and prophets who have seen God's heart and his plans related specifically to President Trump. Don't go away because we're going to talk about that and more on today's show. Today is Wednesday, February 5th. I'm Tania Joy, and this is The Tania Joy Show.
Okay, well, we weren't shocked.
Over again. So welcome back to the show. As well, I'm so excited to have you both on the show. And I know we had such good feedback and reception. General Flynn, what an honor.
Joshua tracked me down in a big tent of about 4,000 people.
How are you?
I am doing so great. Hello, everybody. Praise God, I am wonderfully great.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Because what is prayer?
I'm just Jewish, you know what I mean? And
I'm thrilled to be here with the two of you.
Me too. It's like,
And that's who these crazies, these evil ones.
It is. You said it right. Good job.
perfect.
We are the Gibson sisters. We are so excited to have them on with us on Resistance Chicks today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to rise. These people that get higher up, sometimes I've thought,
These are glory days and not gloomy days.
like, I love that.
So, you know, and it kind of works.
what's awesome about the tour is people like you.
Good.
I love the applause. That's cool.
There we go. Hi, Joy. Everybody, welcome. We are so excited. Are you ready to get the show on the road? Let's go. So I was diagnosed years ago with fibromyalgia. So when I took this, and for people that have fibromyalgia, they understand you get strange pains. One of those is the upper back. So when I put that patch on and that patch took it away, I was like, this is incredible. And the patches are not just for pain. There's a multitude of solutions that are provided. And I know you've got some amazing testimonials other than just mine of people that have used this and really are seeing the benefit.
Welcome to the future of pain relief. QE Strong, your gateway to a pain-free life. Our customers have spoken, showering us with hundreds of glowing 5-star reviews. Real people, real results. But don't just take their word for it. Trusted doctors and influencers are raving about QE Strong as a natural, effective solution for pain management. The magic lies in our revolutionary quantum energy patches. Easy to apply, powerful in action. These patches emit a comforting wave of quantum energy, targeting your pain at its root. No daily medication, just lasting relief. Whether you're a student, a professional, or enjoying retirement, QE Strong is your answer. Witness the transformation, just like these individuals who've reclaimed their lives. QE Strong is for everyone. QE Strong. Quantum energy, your key to a pain-free life. Use coupon code B4A for additional discount.
All right, well, welcome back. Hannah Ratnam is a fourth-generation Christian born and raised in Pakistan. She escaped to Dubai, married, and had a daughter. God supernaturally opened the doors for her family to then move to Canada. She is the author of Hannah's Dream Book and Script. She has also produced a few short films on women and children. She has an MBA in sales and marketing, and God has shown her many visions and dreams specifically related to President Trump. We are so excited to welcome Hannah to the show today. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting.
Absolutely.
Pleasure meeting you.
It's so great to meet you. And it's so, as we were talking off stage or behind the stage, I'm very familiar with Canada. So it's very fun to have somebody on from Canada. Most Americans, we love Canada. We love our neighbors, and so it's very exciting to have you on the show today. Let's start Before we dive into the visions that God has given you, let's start by your journey out of Pakistan and what that was like. How old were you, and what were the circumstances around that?
Pakistan is a very different country for Christians, especially. It's always trouble, persecution. There's lots of forceful conversions, early marriages, and every decade, if you go back and see, Christians in Pakistan has been and had been suffering for their Christian faith. So my family belong to a Christian Protestant family, and as you said, I'm the fourth generation. My mom was a very spiritual woman, and she taught us how to live in these difficult times. Reading Bible, fasting, leaving the house with prayer, walking on the road, reciting the Psalms, and even coming back home, because you can leave the house, but you don't know if you will come back or not. So that's very scary. And with all that, we have to always keep God in our heart and mind and just speak the word, so we know the angels of God are taking care of us. So my journey is very, very complicated. My dad passed away when I was in grade 5. I worked full time. I studied full time. I look after my mom and house full time. So when I was in my childhood, I saw my youth. So when I was in youth, I saw I would say, senior years, and my life is always, always very hard. Taking care of everything on my own, and being a girl, being a lady, and maybe beautiful in those days more.
Oh, you're still beautiful.
It was very, very hard to live in the Muslim community.
Were you, I want to ask a quick question about that. So, did you have to hide that you had a Bible? You weren't allowed to talk about that, or what was that like?
No, I never got scared. I never hide anything. In Pakistan, Christians are very bold. They are very strong with their faith. They don't care if we die, if somebody will bomb blast or whatever they want to do. We don't care about that, because our faith is so strong by birth that we want to die for God rather than pretending to be Christian. So what my mom taught us made us very strong person, not only by faith, but physical, mental, emotionally, and how to deal Muslim men's society in Pakistan. So that was the key, how I survived all those years.
That's amazing. I mean, from a very young age, that's really unbelievable. And so then you grew up and met you moved from there, you escaped. And tell us, how did that go? Did your mom and your whole family escape? Did you go by yourself?
I was in my last year of MBA, and there was a time when everyone has to give one last speech, thank you speech. So I did not say thank you to anybody, but I said a Christian woman in Pakistan. And there I explained everything what happened with me, with my mom, and in the society. And somebody heard that and called me later and said, principal wants to talk to you. And I thought, I'm in trouble now. And I said, really? Okay, I will go. And he offered me a position. He said, Hannah, there is a delegation from Export Promotion Bureau, and they're looking for a woman who is very strong, very bold, and very courageous to handle international Arab society. And I said, what is all that about? So he said, we can arrange your travel, transportation, all the containers, exhibition, everything will arrange if you want to go. So I right away said, yes, I want to go, because my mom knew that I'm thinking of leaving and I don't know how to go. And I was praying and mom was praying. And I said, Lord, open some door where I can get financial breakthrough and I can go. So God provided this opportunity. I went, I had a panel interview with lots of men in that room. And I was always bold. And I just said what I know. And they said, you're hired. And I said, thank God.
And how old were you? At that point?
maybe 25, 22, somewhere.
Wow, that's amazing and so bold. I mean, I'm listening to your story and thinking, my goodness, if kids here in America at that age would be that bold, our world would be so different.
Yes.
It's amazing. So then you went to Dubai, you met your husband, and how long were you guys in Dubai before you ended up in Canada? Because now you're in Canada. So what was that time frame?
When I went for exhibition, I was only in the mindset of that I have to take out my family because that's the best way to take out your family. They gave me all the transportation money. I sold within 3 days every single thing. They gave me double money for that because they were happy. And I called my mom and then all my family afterwards. And there I never wanted to plan to get married right away, but my mom saw a man in the church, and mom proposed him, and he said, would you like to marry my two daughters? I have two of them here, whichever you wish to marry, because we don't have love marriages kind of a thing or living relations. Our culture is not like that.
Which
So
is
we are
good.
very
Yeah.
sorry.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I don't know if it's a good or not, but this is our culture. We don't have such freedom in marriages there, and we are very respectful with our parents' decision. And I said, Mom, I need to study further, and I need to grow more because my business is growing here. And she said, no, 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 this is the time to get married. And then my husband was a church leader in worship, and he picked me and said, I would like to marry your daughter. So we had an arranged marriage. We just met in the church.
Okay, I don't think I understood at first. I thought you were talking about like you guys don't live together, you get married, which that's what I meant. Well, that's good to get married and not live together. But so you had an actual arranged marriage. Wow.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I have a question about that. And I know that this is culturally, and so you would be used to this, but for me and people that have come from cultures where that doesn't exist, how does that feel? Is it, even though you know that that's the way it works, right? Because you grew up in that, was it a little strange? Was ever that a hard thing in your heart to kind of get married and not fully know the person, having that courtship?
Okay, I'll share my experience because I don't know how other people see and take it. So when mom said that this is the right man for you and he will take care of you till you live, so her words are like golden words for me. And I said, okay, so I cannot deny mom saying that I cannot marry now because she knew, she gave me birth, she knows me. And she told me from my childhood that God has chosen you. Yeah. So when she said, this is the only man. So I said, okay. And I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. I've never been. We don't have date system. We don't have live-in relationship. So I said, okay, let me talk to him. Let me see. And I felt comfortable while talking to him. And every time we meet in the church. So we don't have a concept of going alone and meeting alone. And I said, if it's from God, things will come together. If this is God's will, I will leave it to God and take it that way. So that's how we got married. Within 6 months, we got married. Then we had a child in Dubai. We lived there for 13 years. And I never had plans to come to Canada. Never in my entire life. I never applied. I never had a desire or, some people say, let's go to Canada, America. I said, no, I'm okay here. I was living like a princess. Yeah. I had one driver, 2 maids, one cleaner. I had a penthouse. I was a princess there. So I never thought that I will ever move out from that place. But God has different plans. Mm-hmm. God wanted me to do something which I never thought of. Yeah. And recession happened, 9/11 happened, and everything was going so much in Arab anything happens in USA, the whole world is shaking. Then
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's such a good point that a lot of people don't it's sad that there's some people that don't understand that. That's why there's such a responsibility, I believe, on the United States to honor God and honor what he's, his desire is, because there is a great impact. So how old were you then? What year was it when you left and went to Canada?
Officially, my file was open in 2007.
Okay.
I never applied. I told you I used to work with one of the immigration consultant in Pakistan, in grade 11 and 12, just like part-time. He opened my file and he said, Hannah, one day you need this file. And I said, maybe. I don't think so, because Pakistani moms never let their daughters go without getting married. I don't know what happened. When recession came, everybody was sent back, or mostly people were sent back, and I was Pakistani. My husband is Indian. Angelica was born in Arab. So we had 3 different passports.
Wow.
And I said, Lord, I don't want to go back to Pakistan, and I'm not leaving, and I'm not going to go to any other place. You send me a place where you want me to be. Mm-hmm. So I always say, God, your will be done. You tell me what you want me to do. And I was praying one day, and God showed me a file with a big leaf, red leaf. I don't know which place is that. And it's a big, very huge approval stamp on it. And I said, what place is this? And what approval is this? I don't know. And I started praying. And the second time again, God told me, you have to leave. And I said, where do I have to leave? And then third time he reminded me that you have a file in your office where you worked long time ago. I think that time it was maybe 20 years by then.
Wow. So
and I said,
wow.
Sorry.
No, it's such an amazing story. Wow. So then you guys then you found out that was Canada that you saw in that vision. That was the Canadian flag.
No,
it took a while.
I didn't knew it. No, I didn't knew it, where this is, who is. I just called back my office, and I just asked him, is there a file in my name? And he said, who told you? I said, you don't ask me that question. Just tell me if I have a file there or not, and then I'll tell you the secret. And he said, Hannah, you worked so long ago, we don't know where it is. Because in those days, it was all paperwork. Files were not electronic.
Right.
And he said, I don't know where your file is and how I'm going to open. I don't know. I said, I'm not in a hurry. Take your time. Call me when you find if there is any file. So then he called me right away and he said, Hannah, I found your file. I said, what? And he said, it's for Canada, because they used to do Australia. They had USA. And I said, in your name, it's Canada. And then I shared him my testimony and I said, is it a red leaf on it? He said, yes. And I said, this is Canada? And he said, yes.
That is amazing. Oh, that gives me chills. Oh my gosh. What an absolute amazing story. So, okay, this is amazing. I mean, one, it's so cool to see that you've just your whole life known your life is laid down to Jesus, and wherever he wants you to go, you have lived your life willing to just say, Lord, wherever you want to take me, I'm yours, and I'm here as your vessel. Yeah. That is astounding to me. So I don't mean to cut that story off, but I do want to make sure we get into the vision that you've had for Trump, which is just amazing. So let's go into that now, into that first vision. And you tell me, do you want me to pull up that page and we can go through that first vision first, and then I can play the video? Okay, let me do that.
Yes, please.
You go ahead and start sharing. First, I want to know, have you had before this other visions? Well, obviously you had, because you saw the flag. So this was normal for you to have visions from the Lord, and you knew that was the Lord talking to you.
Yes. Okay. I had many visions, just not this one. I have 3 books written down in my own English, whatever. But I was not very confident of sharing my visions or even dreams with anybody. But for last couple of years, I've been praying and asking God, should I share now? Should I tell people? And God gave me that courage. And that's how I start talking and posting on my YouTube and other channels, because I feel that this is the time God has given me permission to share it now. So
and before you get into that, I want to make sure I just tell everybody, we're going to have all of the links for Hannah's website, her social media, her YouTube channel in the show notes section. So if you're listening, you can find that in the notes. If you're watching, you can find that in the notes. We do have it across the screen just for your sake. You can go to her website, which is hannahratnam.com. Her company is Supernatural Stories Limited. We will also show a YouTube video in a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure we pulled that up, and just know we will repeat these, but we will put them in the links as well. Okay, so go ahead. So this is in 2016 now. Are you in Canada at this point?
Yes, I was in Vancouver, BC.
Okay.
We moved in 2009 permanently to Vancouver. I was praying as usual in my morning hours. I'm usually up between 4:30, sometimes even 2 o'clock. If God wakes me up at 1, I'm up. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do, Lord? And that's how my life daily starts. Wow. So I was just praying, and I don't know, sometimes I see very clearly with my open eyes, and sometimes I could hear it very clearly. So with the passage of some years, God has trained me in that, and I have practiced it. So I know this is God's voice. This is from God. Yeah. So I was just praying, and I saw a very huge, beautiful sea. It's very green, and there are lots of fish, so many of them, huge fish, and they are triangle, and the end of their body, there is a very sharp, like a knife, tail. Mm-hmm. And I just start looking at, because when I'm praying, I have to go in deep. And I said, Lord, what is this? Can I see more? Can I know where it is? And I saw one after the other, the same fish over and over. And I just start praying and praying and praying and ask, Lord, what is this? And where is this? Mm-hmm. And then I heard a voice, Florida. So I just right away Google, and I did find that, yes, these fishes are in Florida Sea. And I said, whoa, this is beautiful. And what do they do? So I asked a lot of questions to God. What do they do? Why you're showing me this? And what to do with this? Mm-hmm. So I just saw 2 faces, which I've never seen it in my entire life. And they both are in the face of the fish. Wow. One is man and another is a lady. And I said, okay, what are these men and women doing in the sea? And what is this to do with that pond, the sea, so many fishes? And what is this? So God starts showing me more and more. And oh, sorry, I forgot to give you the date. I have to mention the date of my first vision. So it was 3rd July 2016. And then second vision was on 3rd August 2016, after a month, I would say. And then the last one was 4th September 2016. So one after the other, God was showing me with this man and woman. So anyhow, on the when I saw the face, these 2 people as a fish, I just said, Lord, I need to know more. What is this lady and men doing in the sea? What is going on? And God showed me this lady is very angry. She is so grumpy and big eyes, and she wants to just sting this man. And this man is smiling and very nicely, politely standing. And I said, this is not normal. This is something weird happening. And then I just started praying, and I said, Lord, who is this man and why he's smiling? What is this man need to do with this woman? Wow. So anyhow, God just showed me this thing. And then the second vision was about
You know what? I'm going to wait before we do the second vision. If we play that video, is that just the first vision?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to play the video, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then come back and go into the second and the third vision. Because so the first vision, you just saw all these fish in the sea. You saw the face, which you didn't know was Hillary Clinton, and the face, which you did not know was Donald Trump. And this was 2016. So for those of you that are following, that was the first time.
July.
Yes, so that was the first time that Donald Trump was running for the presidency. So that is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to open up this video. We're going to share this, and then we will take a quick commercial break.
Shalom. My name is Hannah, and today I'm going to share with you one of my vision, which God showed me in 3 different days and timings. The first one is on 3rd July 2016. I was praying and I saw a very huge green color water. It's a very big, and there are a lot of fish. They're like triangle. They have long tails, very pokey, dangerous, and they are like huge. And I saw 2 faces in those among those fishes. My second vision was on
Wow. Okay, I'm going to pause it there because I don't want anyone to get the second vision before you get to share it. So let me switch this over really quick, and we will be, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove you really quick. All right. Y'all, thanks for joining us. Do not go away because we've got more of Hannah's story when we come back. But first, we are getting ready to enter flu season. Many of you are already starting to feel the effects of getting not 100% right. And we work with a fantastic company called The Wellness Company. And you can order from them pre-made health kits that you can keep on your shelf with key medicines, key things to keep you and your family healthy. You're going to get a discount when you use our code. So check them out and get this on your shelf now as we're getting through these winter months. And we will be right back.
The Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals you can trust. And their new medical emergency kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. This medical emergency kit contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin, Z-Pak. Rest assured, knowing that you have emergency antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics on hand to help you and your family stay safe from whatever life throws at you next.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Before we bring Hannah back in, I want to pull this up and just remind you that you can scan this QR code and find all of my links. And you can also go to the website, which is taniajoy.tv. But if you scan this QR code, that's going to bring you everywhere. If you like the show and what we're doing, you can use that QR code to also donate with a one-time gift or a monthly gift. All donations are tax deductible. They go through Remnant Church, and that's the ministry side of the show. And so if you feel led, you can do that. You can also send stars if you're watching on Facebook, or join our locals through Rumble, through the Rumble channel. All right. Well, this is so fascinating. Let's bring Hannah back in. All right. This is amazing. It's just, let's do this. Let's go into your second vision. I'm going to bring up your, the page, the paper that we had up earlier, and then have you start to share the second vision, which was now 1 month later after the first one.
So on 3rd August 2016, I had no idea what is going on in USA. I myself was new in Canada, so I hardly know much about Canadian elections or Canadian system or whatever I have to learn in Canada for my citizenship and living. And God is telling me something which I have no clue what is USA doing. I have no clue who this man is. I don't know who this lady is. And I just start praying and I say, Lord, what do you want me to do? What is my role here? So God just told me to pray for this man. And I said, okay, I will pray for him. And one day I was just watching the TV, and on the TV, I saw same faces. And I told my husband, this is the woman, this is the man I saw in the vision. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm 100% sure these are the two fish faces. And he said, okay, what happened then? And I said, this lady is trying to sting with the tail this man, and he is standing still, happy, healthy, and nothing is happening to him, but he's also getting upset when she's trying to sting him. And then all these fishes are all around him. They're protecting him like a surrounding of him. And I said, I don't understand why these fishes are protecting him and not the lady. So we just watched the TV, and there I found that there is an election going on. And with that, I found that this is the man who is standing for the presidency. And this lady is the opposite party for that presidency. And I said, oh my God, what is this going on? And what is this sea has to do? And what these fishes has to do? So when I had the vision, I didn't knew at all anything what God is doing there. I had no clue how things are, how serious it could be, or how bad it could be. I had no idea. But my job was to pray for this man. That's all my God was telling me, to pray for him. And I continuously, 24/7, I prayed for him, for his protection, for his life, for his health, for his family, for his business, or whatever presidency he's going to work on. That's all was my job for almost 3 months, continuously.
And then 1 month later, you had a third vision.
Yes, I just mentioned to you that I heard from God, Florida. So I Googled it and I said, let me see, where is this place? Because I don't know where is Florida. I hardly know Canadian states. So I don't know where is Florida. So I just Googled and I found there is a big house where he lives. And I said, oh, so maybe since he is from Florida and maybe he's trying to stand from Florida to become president or election or whatever. So it was like, my mind was going on and I was asking God, okay, so what exactly is you want me to do? And he said, he will be my soldier. He will be my people. He will stand for my people and he will save my people. And I said, whoa, okay, so what do I do now? Should I tell him? Should I call him? Or I'm praying, I'm praying. So I talk to God very like a friend, like a daughter. I said, Lord, okay, well, how do I connect with him? What do you want me to tell him? Where do I go? And he said he will bless the nations. So I had no clue what he's going to do. I don't know whether he will be a president or not. I don't know nothing. I just prayed. So what he gave me the message, I wrote letter for him. I did send,
oh my gosh,
but it came back.
Oh my
I don't know if you can read.
Yes.
So I wrote 4 places this letter, and this is from Canada to USA.
And it never got delivered.
No, they all came back. All of them.
We need to see if we can find a way to get that to him.
Yeah, wonderful. And I just shared exactly the same vision what I had, and I just wrote the same message what God told me. He is a man and he is a soldier and he will save my people. And I continue praying for him. Do you mind going a little bit up, please?
Yes.
A little bit more here. So then when I was praying, I just start Googling on his life, who he is, where he lives, what he's doing. I found he's a businessman. He's not even a politician. And I said, Lord, if he's a businessman and he's never been in the politics, how come he got this idea even?
Yeah.
What made him think of becoming a president? And if you are not from the politics, how will you handle it? So I had so many questions to God, and I don't know what God wanted to do with him. I just knew that there was an announcement on June 16, 2015, that he's nominated.
Yeah.
And then in May 4, 2016, he was officially nominated. And July 19, 2016, he was in the elections. He was running for the elections. And November 8, 2016, he was already finalized. And I said, whoa, what is that?
Wow.
It was shocking for me also. I said, oh my goodness, what is going on in USA?
That's amazing.
I just prayed for him. That was my job. And, when he became president, we celebrated at home with some friends. We cut the cake and everybody knew this vision. And they said, when they saw on the TV that he's celebrating and dancing and all, he said, how come you know all that? I said, God just showed me. I don't know. This was the vision I had. And this is what I told all of you.
Wow.
So I did my part. I prayed, and I'm blessed that God heard my prayers. He was safe. Nothing happened to him in the election, which I came to know later. There was lots of trouble. And his life was at a stake. His family was in trouble. So maybe that is what God was telling me, to pray for his safety, security in life.
That's what I was just going to say. I was going to add that, it's curious and interesting because he came in 2016. He, was president for 4 years, dealt with so many bad things. I mean, they tried to get rid of him from day one. From the minute he announced, they tried to unqualify him. And now, as a follow-up to that, because he was obviously, he re-ran in 2020. They stole it. He should have won. And now it's been 8 years and now he's just back in. Did you have any further visions between 2020 and this election, basically 2016 until now when he got back in?
Yes, I did.
Wow. And what was that? Do you want to share about that?
Sure, I can share that. I was praying again. I don't remember exactly the date right now because I thought this will be another video, but I can give you a summary.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'm just so curious. And I think the viewers are going to be like, wow,
I was just praying and I saw he's sitting on a very huge table, beautiful table. And there is some, I don't know, noodle or maybe rice he's about to eat. I don't know, it's a lunch or dinner, whatever. And there is one cook who he put something in his food. I literally see that while he was cooking. And I was praying, sitting in my living room. And I said, Lord, no, he cannot eat this food. I don't want him to touch that food. And I was just throwing the plate in my prayer. And I'm canceling this food that he should not touch that food. And all of a sudden, I saw there are very big, beautiful white pillars. And on those white pillars, there are lots of black, just like spiders or just like ninjas. Mm-hmm. They have big knives, big guns, big ammunitions on their bodies, and they're jumping, just going up on his roof. And they're trying to come under that, I don't know, there is some place in that White House, I believe, from the top that you can get in. Okay. And I'm closing that thing over and over. And I said, Lord, no, they cannot get in. I cancel that. And I was just blocking that area in the prayer. And there were just so many of them, I cannot tell you. And I was throwing the plate with the food. I'm praying on that top of the roof. And I said, Lord, please send your angels and remove him from that place, from that table where he is right now. And thank God, I saw so many people came in. They were like, I think they are guards, if I'm not wrong. They're wearing nice suits, beautiful men. Yeah. I wish to meet them. And they were just, like covering him with from surrounding. And they push him in a room. I don't know which room is that, but I saw there is one secured room where they took him. Yeah. So all of a sudden, when those men were trying to climb on that top of the roof, there was a shake in the room. And that plate, automatically with that shake, the table was shaking, like there was like like a straw, and it tripped. So the whole plate tripped. And I said, thank God he didn't eat that food. And then I just covered him again in the prayer and his life. And then I was worried about his family. And I don't know, I just saw him escaping from that room. I don't know where he went. I could not see that, but he was not there. And everybody was trying to come in and kill him. So that was my next, not next, like after a few years, God showed me that about.
Which now you probably know about the times that they have tried to kill him multiple times. And the thing that I think is the most fascinating about this, and the thing that I really want to encourage to the viewers, is you're a mom, this brilliant woman from overseas who then ends up in Canada, who doesn't know anything about our politics. God shows you this to be an intercessor, and your prayers helped protect our president. I mean, that is, and I know that there are thousands, maybe millions of people who are praying for him, but your prayers, your specific prayers, God showed you specifically this man and how to pray for him, and showed visions that he was going to be even attempting, they were even going to attempt assassination, and God is having you pray and intercede. And I guess I just want to say, that God uses so many people for his purposes. And so for the people that are watching or listening, if the Lord has shown you something to pray, don't pass it off as, oh, it's just little, I don't know. Pray and intercede. The Lord went to Hannah to show her his heart, knowing he would intercede for Donald Trump. That's amazing. That's so, so amazing. I want to show a picture. I know this is from the Wax Museum, but you got to sort of meet him, right? That is so cute. That is so funny. What year was that?
2007, 17.
That is so cute. I love that so much.
We went to London for just visiting my sister, and she said, let's go to Madame Tussauds Museum. It's in London, big, huge place. And I said, okay, let's go. And I saw Mr. Trump, and I said, I want to take a picture with him. I want to hold his hand and take a picture.
Oh, my goodness. I love it. Oh, my gosh. I love it so much. And then I know we've got a few minutes left, but I want to talk very quickly about, you've written a screenplay, and maybe what we'll do is we'll do another show another time when we can talk more about this. But this is pretty amazing. So Hannah wrote a screenplay about your vision, right? It will tell us kind of the synopsis of what was the story about.
So when I was having nonstop visions for USA, I shared with my friend, and she's my script writer also. I don't know how to write script. I have no clue. So she helped me write a lot of scripts. And I said, I need to write this story because this is very, very unique, special. Yeah. And I really take this to the world, because people think he's bad, he's not good, he's doing this wrong, that wrong. I said, no, this is from God. He is not because he's a politician or he's a businessman. It's the selection came from heaven. So sometime as a human, maybe you don't like me, I don't like you. That's another story. But when God is choosing you, then nobody cares what you like or you don't like. So we decided, after praying, we will write a story, and I submitted to some film festivals. In those days, many didn't like it, but the people who loved it, they awarded the script, and I wish to make a movie.
And it's amazing. So for those of you that are watching and you can see this or listening, it was an official nominee for Content 2020 Film Festival and Media Summit. And of course, this was 2020, right before kind of all hell broke loose here and all over the world. But that story, God did not have you write it for nothing. And so I agree. I think that it would be an amazing story. And I think in the years to come, we're going to see a lot of these kind of stories filmed and created and made to reveal and show people how God has spoken, what his plans are and what his heart is, because I know for my viewers, many of them, if not all of them, do 100% believe that Donald Trump was chosen, just like King Cyrus was chosen, to be the leader of this land for this time. And that's for something much bigger. It doesn't matter if he's not God. Donald Trump is not God. He's a human, but he was chosen for this time to lead and to protect this land and to protect God's people, to impact the nations. And it's just so exciting. We're going to definitely have to do another show, because you you're such an encouragement, I believe, for God's children to listen, to be obedient, to lay down their life, because you don't know what that could lead to. I'm telling you, when we're done with this, I'm going to want to send this to some of my friends and figure out how can we get this to Donald Trump, or to his team at least, so that they can see this, because it's remarkable. And I think it would be such an encouragement to him to see that God sees him, God has chosen him, and God is speaking to people all around the world to pray and lift him up. So let everybody know, where can they find you? What's the best way to get in touch with you? If somebody's watching this and you're a filmmaker or you're an investor, you need to reach out to Hannah and maybe help get this film made. But let everybody know where they can find you and all of that.
I'm all around the social media. You can find me anywhere. So I have a website under hannahratnam.com. My company, which I have created recently, it's Supernatural Stories Limited, because most of my stories or scripts or books would be based on true events and true stories, and they're all visions and dreams. So you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on my website. So most information is mainly on my YouTube, because I have videos which I share, and on my Facebook and TikTok. But website right now is not very much updated regularly, because I can do whatever I can do in a day.
No, I get it. And your YouTube channel is called Supernatural Stories Limited, LTD. Yes. So when you look Hannah up on YouTube, you're going to go to Supernatural Stories LTD. And as a reminder, we will have that down in the show notes. Hannah, your story is amazing, and I'm so glad I got to be introduced to you. Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing just a tiny portion of some of these stories. They're really encouraging.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting. Honored to be here.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Hang tight. I'm going to finish up the show. You guys, thank you so much for being here. As you know, we end the show with Isaiah 61, because this is the reason that this is why I'm doing this. This is the first vision I had to start this show. And this scripture says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, for the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to comfort the brokenhearted and proclaim that the captives will be released and prisoners will be freed. He has sent me to tell those who mourn that the time of the Lord's favor has come, and with it the day of God's anger against his enemies. To all who mourn in Israel, he will give you a crown of beauty for ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair." Thank you so much for joining. As always, we have new content every Wednesday afternoon at 4:15 p.m. Central Time. You can find us on Rumble, CloutHub, Facebook. And if you go to the website, taniajoy.tv, and go on over to the podcast tab, you will find more information. Thanks again for joining us. And until next time, bye for now.
that ever happened to me, because when I was searching, I was able to find it.
Cardio Miracle for me has really been a blessing in my life. It's just been a special experience for me to be able to have Cardio Miracle.
So basically, for a 97-year-old, I think that I feel
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Beauty for Ashes with Tania Joy. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave us a comment below. Lastly, if you've enjoyed today's podcast, share with those who came to mind. Be blessed, and remember, you were created for such a time as this.